Empathic listening is one of the two key coaching interventions that represent the third building block of my coaching framework. I divided it into two parts. For part one, effective questioning, please watch my video, What are the key coaching interventions, part one. Let's start now with part two here. What are the different types of listening and why is empathic listening so important for an effective coaching outcome? What are the fundamental things you as coach need to do in order to become a better listener? We will explore the different levels of listening in this video, and of course, I will answer these questions. My name is Matthias, and you are watching Who Coaches? This is Coaching. What's up, coaches? Matthias here, and I show you today the different levels of listening and also why empathic listening is so important for a positive coaching outcome, as well as what you as coach can do in order to become a good listener. Let's go to the levels of listening. I took a model from Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He laid out 5 levels of listening, which I find quite useful in the coaching context. And here's level number 1, ignoring. This is the lowest level of listening. No effort is being given by the listener. There are many reasons why listening occurs at this level. For example, distraction. Maybe the listener is busy. How many times have you been busy with something and then suddenly realized another person was talking to you? Or you were talking to someone only to realize that they even didn't realize that you were there. Try to call the individual by name to get their attention. There are physical restrictions. There could be a hearing problem, or earphones do not work. And then we have intentional ignoring. The listener doesn't want to acknowledge the information. For example, the listener may look then away, do something else, and do not engage with the person who is communicating with them. There are no situations where this level of listening is appropriate, and it should be avoided, even in a scenario where the communication is coming to negative or insulting. And here's level 2, pretend listening. This level of listening is where the listener is giving an appearance of listening, but not really engaged. What are typical responses? Really? Good. Pretend listeners are disengaged because the information does not have value to them. Their mind is probably elsewhere, either intentionally or because they have something else to concentrate on. Those pretended listeners will eventually get caught out because they either have to ask the other person to repeat what was said, or they get the question from the other person that they then can't answer. Level 3, selective listening. This is when the listener pays attention to people as long as they agree with them or if they are desirous to hear what the other people have to say. This is a bit different from pretended listening because the listener is paying attention enough to be able to re-engage in the conversation as it becomes interesting to them. At this level, the listener, and that's important for you as coach, will be quick to jump in and interrupt the coachee to add something, change the topic, or simply finish the coachee's sentences. The dangerous piece of the selective listening level is that it is easy to fall into the ignoring or pretended listening levels. Level 1 to 3 are all related with the person who listens. You as coach, there is no relation to the other person, your coachees. So when you are listening on these levels, your interventions are not supportive for your coachees, and therefore you need to raise your level of listening at least to level 4 or even better, level 5. And here's level 4, attentive listening. When someone is listening attentively, as the word suggests, they are paying attention. This means that they are concentrating on what is being said and even on what's not being said. They will also be using the right body language to show that they are listening. For example, nodding head and having eye contact. In order to use attentive listening, you as coach must first decide that you want to listen. This explains why listening is a skill, as it is something you need to switch on to use. And then you ensure you give your coachees the full and undivided attention. No distraction. That's the listening level where it is not about you as coach, it is about your coachees. That's why it is the minimum level of listening to be applied by a coach during a coaching conversation. Now we have level 5, empathic listening. This is the pinnacle of listening. The application of listening with intention is the foundation of empathic listening. The listener is paying attention to the words and, most importantly now, what they mean to the coachees. The listener gives their full and undivided attention, completely focused on the coachees. In addition, it means trying to see things through the eyes of your coachees. What are they feeling? Why they are communicating this, and how do they want me to feel? You give your whole self to the conversation, ears, heart, and mind. This is the hardest level of listening to achieve because it does require so much energy from you as coach. How can you become now a better listener? At the end, an empathic one. I'd like to share some do's and don'ts with you. Here's one. Ask open questions and don't ask multiple questions in one question. So don't ask what did you do and what do you want to do next in the same question. Choose one of these after the other in separate questions. Another one. Reflect what the coachee said to make sure you understand, and don't assume you know what the coachee is thinking or feeling. That means for you, take in information non-judgmentally. Furthermore, spend more time listening instead of speaking. And in addition, ask for permission before offer advice and do not offer unsolicited suggestions. And finally, use their words when asking and summarizing. Don't make out of their words your words. Attention is not a problem as long as your coachees say so. Hey coaches, that was part 2 of the key coaching interventions. See also part 1, effective questioning. Please leave your questions in the comments and also your ideas for further content. Thank you so much for taking your time and watching this video. My name is Matthias. I'll see you back soon here on WhoCoaches. This is Coaching.